The other day I got an email from one of my longtime customers, someone who owns an e-commerce store, and she wrote in, she said, Chris, I am tired of running on the hamster wheel, doing a lot of manual marketing, trying to get people onto my online store, onto my Shopify site to buy, essentially. And she was looking for ways to automate her income. Besides things like, having subscriptions, which obviously are a good way to do it, she wanted to know what other things can you do to have more automated revenue come in from your e-commerce store. So I thought about it for a second, and I actually have 11 ways that you can automate more revenue from your e-commerce store. Let's take it from the top. First thing you do to get more automated revenue in is obviously to get more people onto a subscription for your product. Now, you've probably been to sites before, or if you sell consumable products, you might have this enabled where you give people the option to subscribe and save, and maybe they buy on a subscribe and save plan and they get 5% or 10% off or whatever, and then they're rebilled at an automatic interval. So it might be every 30 days, it might be every 45 days, 60 days, maybe it's every quarter or every 6 months, depending on whatever the product is. But it's a really good way to get people to sign themselves up to automatically rebill. And obviously, if you're selling something like skincare or supplements, things like that, or even, if it's like dog food or whatever it is you're selling that is a consumable product, this makes a lot of sense because people will buy your product, they'll use it, they'll run out, and they'll probably need to reorder again. Allowing people to subscribe and save is a great way to get some of that monthly recurring revenue, that MRR, into your store. The second way to get more revenue is by investing into SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically, SEO is just the art and science of making your website or parts of your website appear higher in the search engine rankings for specific terms. If you can get your product pages and parts of your website or specific pages on your website to rank for those keywords, there's a higher likelihood that the people, which is probably a lot of people who are searching for that particular term, are going to land on your site, find what they need, and buy. The pros about SEO, the things that are really good about it, are that you have a lot of people who are high intent. If someone is typing something into the search bar, they're curious and interested, right? It's not like a social media ad where it kind of interrupts them when they were doing something else. Like, they have the intent. They are searching because they want that thing. So it's a little bit more competitive, and it does take some money to invest. Obviously, you have to, unless you know a lot of SEO yourself, you might have to invest in working with a specialist or an expert. And then you might have to invest also in someone to do some optimizations and or create new content for your site. But those investments can be very worthy. I know from my own site, theemailcopywriter.com, I've done a lot of SEO work, and we're continuing to invest in SEO because it's passive, it's nice. I'm getting traffic from articles I wrote years ago that are still bringing leads every single day, completely on autopilot, completely automated. So that's another way that you could easily automate some of that revenue coming into your store by just ranking higher in the search engines. Third way is by increasing your conversion rates. So when you go into Shopify, you are going to see a conversion rate for your store. Basically, how many people come to your store and then how many people buy. Maybe it's 1% of people who go to your website buy, or 2% or 3% or 4% or whatever it is, right? If you have traffic coming already, another really easy way to automate your revenue is just to make your website run better. Because if you can do some conversion rate optimization on your website and increase the conversion percentage and the UX and the flow and get people to the right pages and the right products in a faster and easier and simpler way, then they are going to buy more. So what that means is if you were to take your website's conversion rate from 1% to 2% without doing anything else, making that one little change, whatever you had to do to implement to make that change happen, you are going to automatically make twice as much money. Assuming you have traffic coming from your site, this is a very good thing to invest in, some of that conversion rate optimization, because again, if people are having trouble finding what they need on your site, or if the navigation's weird or the UX is clunky or things are designed poorly, then it's going to stop people. They're going to bounce, they're going to leave, they're going to probably buy from someone else, probably your competitors. Fourth way is by using affiliates. So an affiliate is someone who's kind of like incentivized to promote your products to their audience. There's many different ways that this works. Sometimes people have an email list, or they have a complimentary business, or they might have a big social following or whatever it is. But basically what they're going to do is you're going to set them up with a specific link that tracks all of the clicks and sales that come to that link, and you're going to give it to that person. And that person is going to go out on their own time as many times as they want, and they're going to promote your products to their audience. Now, the cool thing about this is that in terms of automation, you hand them the stuff that they need. You hand them the link and the resources and information about the products and whatever else they need, and then the affiliate is off to the races. Obviously, like, you might have to kind of, prompt people and give them some ongoing support. But if you have really good affiliates, they're people who are going to promote you over and over and over again, or they might add their affiliate links to their website, and now you're capturing some of their traffic. or there's a lot of ways that they can build their affiliate link for your products into their existing marketing machine that they built. So what that means is you are going to be bringing sales into your e-commerce store without you having to do anything. Obviously, it takes a little bit of work in the beginning, but all of these methods, every single thing you do in business is going to take some work in the beginning, but it's a very leveraged way. You can have affiliates who send you sales for months and months from now, years to come. Not every affiliate is going to turn out that way, but a really good affiliate is going to send you a lot of business that you wouldn't have normally had yourself. Number 5, influencers. So the simplest way that I can describe an influencer is it is a human billboard. Not exactly the same as an affiliate. There's some nuance to those relationships, but it could be for a certain number of plugs. You might send them a flat fee, or you might give them, it could be a percentage of sales. There could be a lot of different types of deals you work out, but it's someone that you incentivize some way. Maybe it's even by giving them free product for them to go out and promote your products to their existing audience. So you see this a lot on social media, especially. There will be people who are influencers and they're full-time influencers, and they actually don't sell anything themselves. They don't have an e-commerce store themselves. They don't have a real business or a Shopify site or anything like that. They just have a big social following, and what they do is they get paid to promote other people's products. And this can be really cool because sometimes these influencers have a really strong bond and relationship with their audience. And if you can get them to promote your stuff to their audience, you can get a ton of customers. I mean, there's people who have hundreds of thousands, millions, even tens of millions of followers and fans across all their social media platforms who would be a perfect fit for your brand. It's kind of what's the saying? You got to kiss a few frogs to get to your prince, right? Sometimes you got to try some people out. It might work out, it might not, but eventually if you have some good relationships with some people who have great relationships with their audience, that could be a really easy way to automate some more income, because again, all you have to do is essentially send a payment or send product or whatever it is, and that person will go and promote you, and that's kind of like an automatic way to bring in money because you are not doing it. Someone else is doing it, right? You're basically creating an incentive for someone to go out and promote your stuff. Some of the pieces of content they put out might continuously show up in the algorithm and continuously be shown to new people, which is automatically sending you new customers all the time. Number 6, paid ads. So ads are pretty awesome. If you can get advertising to work for you, you can write your own ticket. Because the thing with ads is that if you want to talk about automation, once you set an ad up, it's just going to run. It's going to spend however much money. If you say it's $100 a day or $1,000 a day or whatever your ad spend is, the algorithms on the platform, it's going to take your advertisement, it's going to show it and find the right people who are hopefully a good fit for your product and put it in front of them, and you can go about your business while that ad is running. You can have those ads running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without fail, and they'll only go off when you turn them off or if you exceed your spending limit. So that's really cool, because when you think about automation, how do you build something that runs without you? Well, a piece of media that is being cloned over and over and over again and shown to, tens of thousands, even millions of people through an advertising platform is super powerful, because it is a way for you to bring in customers without you having to put your butt in the seat and create new content or do something else to try to get people to your site. Obviously, the thing with ads is that it takes a little bit of skill, it takes a little bit of practice, there's probably some testing. Most people tend to burn cash in the beginning as they're figuring out the right messaging and the right offer and tech issues and things like that. However, a lot of people find that it's worth it if you can get through that initial testing phase when you're figuring out how to best advertise your products to a colder audience who might not know you as well. Once you get past that phase and you get ads that are converting, hopefully in a positive ROI fashion, you can scale. Number 7 is referral programs. So a referral program is simply an incentive that you create for your existing customers for them to go out and find you new customers who are just like them. You might have seen these in our the meal kit delivery companies. The big ones, Blue Apron, HelloFresh, they'll always be sending out these emails and things like that. A lot of these are automations, and they'll say things like, if you give a friend this discount code and they end up signing up, we're going to give you X amount of free meals. So that's an example of a referral program. What's cool about this is that, again, once you set this program up and you put it out there, and maybe you create an email automation or you make a page about it on your website, it's automated after that. So it's a way that you can bring in more customers, again, without you having to put your butt in the seat and actually make something happen. The cool thing about referral programs, too, is that if you have a really good referral offer and if you have a really loyal and engaged following, people who love referring and actually can drive referrals, the cost per acquisition for a new customer on referral can be way lower than it is on advertising or even some other platforms. So again, every business is going to differ, but that is a really good thing to test if you have a loyal fan base and following for your brand. Number 8 is loyalty programs. So a loyalty program is a program where people accrue points or credits or some kind of value that they can then cash in for some kind of incentive. So a good example of this is the clothing brand J. Crew. I buy some stuff from them, and after a while, you spend enough money, you'll start to accrue points, and then you'll get emails, and it'll say, hey, you have $60 worth of credit to use, and it expires on this date. So the thing is, when you have a loyalty program like that, this weird thing happens. It's almost like better than a coupon because we get coupons all the time. You might get them in the mail. You might get those local ads with coupons with local pizza place or whatever it is. And a lot of times you just throw these things out because, you don't feel like it's like, okay, if I go and give them money, they'll take a little bit off, right? Like it's not as strong of an incentive as having an actual credit. Like it's like you own the points. It's like this tangible experience where you're like, I have this and I'm going to lose this. Like with a coupon, you don't lose out on anything. I've done this a lot, especially with consumable brands. If someone is buying, supplements or food or meat or whatever it is that you're selling, and you have some kind of loyalty program, it's going to keep them coming back. And what's really cool about this is there's another psychological effect that happens. When people know that you have a loyalty program, you're actually going to build a stronger brand. Let's say they're shopping for meat. One of my clients is Perennial Pastures Ranch out in San Diego. Now, if they have a loyalty program and I'm shopping for meat and my local supermarket does not have a loyalty program, I'm going to want to buy from Perennial Pastures because I know I'm going to get some kind of reward out of it. I'm incentivized to purchase there. So it makes the switching cost much, much greater, right? Well, that's what builds loyalty, right? That's what builds repeat purchases. That's what builds that customer retention. These loyalty programs, they can be super powerful. And again, a lot of this stuff can be automated. You could have automated emails going out when people are close to achieving a threshold for the next reward. Or you could have emails that go out when someone has a reward they need to spend. Or you can have an email go out when the reward is about to expire. So there's a lot of ways to automate that process as well that are going to keep people coming back for more and keep them buying. And the thing is, you want them to keep buying because it's a win-win, because obviously you get paid, you make more money, you can continue to grow your business, provide for your family, and do everything you need to do. But that person is buying your products because they have a problem that your products solve. So every time you encourage them to rebuy, they are once again solving the problem or getting the help that they need. So it's a really awesome system. Number 9, SMS. SMS just means text message marketing. So it's kind of, I consider this an owned revenue source similar to email and direct mail. Basically, what happens is people can sign up for text messages. They can opt in. They can voluntarily say, I consent to receiving text messages about promotions from your store, whatever it is. What that does, that allows you to then market to people through text. Now, obviously, a text has a character limit, so there's only so much you can say. But what I found is that these text messages, these SMSs are super powerful and they produce a lot of revenue. The cool thing is a lot of this can be automated. So if someone signs up for your email list and you give some kind of incentive, you could send them an email. And if they opt in for SMS, you could also send them a text message, right? So if they're away from their computer or they're not in their email app, but they get the text from you, that is a good way to get them to take the action you want them to take. If they leave something in their cart, you could send them a cart abandonment SMS. If they haven't bought from you in a while, you could also send them a win back SMS, right? And all these things can be automated where it's just once your subscriber takes a certain action or meets a certain criteria, the SMS message will fire, it'll shoot them a text message to their phone and present the offer to them automatically without you having to lift a finger. Obviously, there's nuance with SMS, just like with any other marketing platform. Assuming that you know how to navigate it and assuming you know how to set these things up and craft, fun, engaging, interesting copy and strong copy, powerful copy that's going to move people to action, it's a great way to automate more revenue coming into your store. Number 10 is direct mail. So I've only done this with a few clients, but the few clients that I had done this with, it's worked exceptionally well. So there's this website called Postpilot. I believe Drew Sanaki is the guy who started or owns it. And basically what they do is they help you set you up with postcard campaigns, which are really, really powerful. And a lot of people think really direct mail, does that actually work? And direct mail actually works really, really well. There was a time when people only did direct mail before the internet. And that's how most direct marketers and direct response marketers made money. And a lot of people who mastered the medium of direct mail absolutely crushed it. The thing is, everyone went online, but direct mail still exists and it works really, really well. Some of the biggest brands that I buy from in my own personal life, they're always sending out postcards and catalogs and things like that. So it's a super effective medium. Cool thing about using something like Postpilot, by the way, no, I'm not sponsored by Postpilot. However, Drew, if you're watching this, I'll take an affiliate link for a future video. After someone purchased the first time, you have an opportunity, once you have their address and you've already shipped them a product, you own that address now. You could send them postcards whenever for upcoming promotions, for Black Friday, for a special sale you're running, for a new product you're launching, whatever it is, because now you own that physical address. Someone can delete your email, but they're not going to rip their mailbox off the wall. But what you might find is that there's a ton of noise in the inbox or even their text messages. They might get, text from 50 different people a day, but they only might get 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 pieces of mail every single day, right? So it's actually a really awesome way to stand out. The thing is, most people are afraid because you have to pay for postage. But the crazy thing is, because there's so much less noise in the physical mailbox, sometimes these campaigns can work incredibly well. The thing to remember is a lot of this stuff can be automated. So with something like Postpilot, you can automate a lot of these campaigns. Once you have a campaign that has worked once, maybe you send it out manually, you create an automation and it'll kick out those postcards without you having to lift a finger. All right, the last one, number 11, is I saved the best for last. My favorite, my baby, email flows and automations, right? So an email flow or an email automation is just a series of emails that get sent out based on someone's behavior, what they did, interacting with your store or your website, encourages them to take a specific action. So there's welcome sequences, there's cart abandonment sequences, there's post-purchase sequences, there's win-back sequences, VIP sequences, there's tons. I mean, I actually wrote an entire book on these sequences. It's called Scale While You Sleep. I'll have it linked up somewhere in the comments below. It's $5. Make sure you buy it. It's pretty awesome. But email flows are great because just like everything else I mentioned here, you can set it up one time and it'll just run over and over and over again. Sure, it might take time and effort, or maybe you hire an email marketer, or you hire me. I have clients, I built them automations years ago, a year, 2 years, 3 years, some 5 years ago. They're still cranking out sales month after month, week after week, day after day. What is the ROI of an automation that you built 5 years ago that's bringing you sales on a daily basis? Absolutely insane. Most people don't do this. They don't take the time to do this. I don't know why. Email is some of the lowest hanging fruit, and it has some of the highest performance in terms of engagement, in terms of overall sales and ROI that you're going to get. If you don't do anything else on this list, I'd recommend at least getting some email automation set up. And if you don't know how to do that, I actually have a print newsletter called Make It Rain Monthly that I send out on a monthly basis, where I cover tons of automations, things that I'm building with my clients, and I break down those sequences and show you exactly how they work so you can build them for your own e-commerce store and start making more sales. So there you go, 11 ways to automate more income for your e-commerce store. Try them out. Let me know how it goes. Peace.